Yeah, if Miami comes back from College Station having lost 31-27, you're not going to be happy with that. Miami fans should not be happy with that. But at the same time, that's going to be a much different. And let's say Texas A&M turns out to be what we expect them to be: 9-3, 10-2, a top 10 to 12 team in the country, something in that range. That's going to show tremendous growth over what we've seen the last few years. And the same thing with the trip to Clemson. You want to win the game. You want to be competitive. You just flat out want to win the game, and are not going to be happy with a loss. But take it all into context. Okay, if Clemson's back to Clemson, 11-1-ish, and we played them to a 31-24 game, well, that's much different than what we've seen the last 5 years.
Exactly. And I've been watching a lot of – I love simulation games, in case you didn't know this about me.
That surprises me.
Civilization, like city builder thing. So I've been watching this city builder game, this guy who is a city planner doing it on this video game. Like building a city grid and like the whole
That's kind of cool.
I find it to be interesting. And it's a phrase that he says a lot that I've heard, but I think it applies here. Do not let perfect be the enemy of good, right? So to Mark's point, I don't want a 31-27 loss in College Station. I want us to go in there and kick their ass and win by 1 or 100. I don't care, right? But in this scenario, if we're competitive within a touchdown in a place like that, that is a step forward. So don't let perfect be the enemy of good when good is getting you towards where you want to be, right? So just take that all into account. And no, I'm not being defeatist. No, I'm not saying, okay, we're going to I'm not conceding anything, but I am being a little pragmatic. And if that is the result and that plays out in the way that we are hypothesizing, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And also, in contrast to 2017, because I saw some people trying to have revisionist history about that, don't let the result, wash over everything else, right? Because it's like, oh, well, it was Kane's Cut-Ups, I believe is the Twitter account. They put up a video of that touchdown to Jeff Thomas to start the second half of that game when Miami was trailing 7-6 against an 0-6 Carolina team. I'm sorry, a 1-7 Carolina team on the road, one of the worst teams in captivity. Had no reason with that being a game, and that was a game that we only won by 5 points, right? So in here, it's the inverse of don't let a perfect be the enemy of good. Don't let that result blind your judgment either, But we are taking steps towards where we want to be, and hopefully those things come to fruition. Really quickly before I go on to whatever comments come next, there was one comment about Florida State fans and Florida's fans. So I forget who it was, but he said Florida State fans believe that they're going to beat Mario Cristobal in the first game that he will have coached against them in Hard Rock Stadium this year. And then also Gator fans believe that they will have more talent than Miami when we play in 2 years' time. Number one, I don't believe that Florida State's going to win. I'm still incredulous to the fact that they did win last year. But you have somebody who blows the coverage on 4th and 14, and that's how you're able to hit that throw. And then they ended up winning, and then them winning that game got us what we see now. And I think that we're ready for, to start another streak and get some big revenge because, yes, I know that losing that game did get the whole athletic department restructured, and especially at the football side. But we don't accept that. So we're going to go handle that business. In terms of Florida and the amount of talent on the roster in 2 years' time, Miami's recruiting at such an elite level, and they're adding guys through the transfer portal. I think it's going to be a wash, if not more on to Miami's side. Florida does have a higher blue chip ratio currently, but with the way that Miami is adding talent, and remember, there are no scholarship limits this year for recruiting purposes, as long as you do not exceed 85 concurrent players on the roster at one time. So if you process guys out or guys decide to leave because they're not going to play or the coaches don't like them, and which happens every year, right? I've been with SB Nation for going on 12 years now, right? Every single year, there's guys who elect to go somewhere else. That's going to happen. You might even see more of that. But now you're not going to replace them with Joe Schmo. You're going to replace them with probably a blue chip guy, either in this class or a blue chip guy from another class, from another team who wants to come down here. So in that, I would say at a minimum, it's going to be Miami on par, or Florida and Miami on par in terms of roster talent. But I would lean in 2 years probably to have more talent across the roster with the Mario Cristobal coached team than Billy Napier. But that's just me.